Good morning, everybody. I'm going to let a few people hop on before we get started. If you've got your breakfast, your snack, your coffee, whatever you've got this morning, to kind of have a space to just land and to just be, as well as to get some food in with some people that care about you. So, good morning, Debbie. I hope you're doing well. Good morning, Renee. If you have a snack or a breakfast or a coffee or whatever time of day you're watching this video, good morning. So good morning, Mary. Good morning, Sherry. That's Chuck, my dog down there coughing. He's okay, but if you've been around long enough to know, he's been my Facebook Live video buddy for now maybe 4 years. And if you've listened to him over the years, I'm glad to hear that, Debbie. If you've been here a long time and he keeps getting older. He'll be 15 in June, which is great. He does have a collapsed trachea. He's on medications. So if you hear him coughing, he's not dying, but, airway is an issue. Good morning, Morgan. Good to see you. I know. Totally sweet Chuck. I mean, Mary, he's such a good dog. Samantha, good morning. So hopefully everybody who's joining here live has what they need. I've got my coffee. And I want to just jump right in. This won't be a half-hour video as usual. Usually that's about what it ends up being, but today's going to be about 10 minutes or so. I got up late, so it's making my whole day late, but my body needed more rest today, so I did it. And I hope you all are doing similar things too. Which brings us to this week. We talked a lot about focus. And when people ask me about recovery and basically the air quotes, like how did you do it? And there's so many factors into how I feel like, I don't think about food or weight at all. And I know there's some ease to that because of my smaller body privilege that I recovered in. So I don't have to face the daily stuff. I know that. However, back in the day, I didn't know that because I started my eating disorder as a kid. So I didn't, like late adolescence, so I hadn't grown up into my adult body. And there's like a 50-50 shot genetically by looking at the people I was related to, is that I was going to be short and small or short and round, and I didn't know. So I had to kind of take that risk and that leap of faith that I'd be willing to move on and have a life without an eating disorder regardless of my size. I had to make that commitment. So all that being said, how do we take such a risk like that? And I would say it's a focus. We have to have a focus. And all week long I've been talking about you wake up and you just jump out of your bed and go about doing things, or do you check in with how you're doing and what needs to happen in your day, and how does food you're eating, how do you have access to that to support that? And that's the whole thing, is like people aren't really, with air quotes again, successful long term with making peace with food unless food is like a focus, and nobody wants to be a focus. I'm going to say a little more things, and I want to hear from you all, is that some of the things that people come to me and they say, I thought, Tracy, I was going to come to you, and you were just going to like help me say some words, and I wouldn't have not to worry about food or weight anymore. And I say, I know that's what we want, and that's the goal. But at the beginning, like if our goal is to eat normatively, don't we have to take some time in our day to have the food around that would help us eat more normatively? Do we need to put ourselves in positions where we can more calmly do that with less distraction if our environment is feeling sketchy or unsafe or distracting or whatever, to do what we need to do? Is that a barrier to our focus, maybe what everybody else is doing? And so this is what this week has been about, is to learn how to have less food and body preoccupation. I'm going to talk about this. Maybe next week is going to be the focus of our videos, but I want to hear from you all what you need first. But we do have to build inner resilience, or we have to build resilience to make being in this world, eating and focusing on that in a normative way, we have to make it possible, and that's about building inner capacity. And the capacity comes from like having confidence, like, wow, I had all the foods here, and I let myself have what I want, and that was my focus. So I want to hear from you all, like, what has helped you so much on whatever freedom looks like for you. Those of you who, wherever you're at, if you're brand new, maybe your focus is like, wow, I watch these videos, that helps me. Wow, if you're a little further along, it's like, the thing that's helped me is just eating regularly. That was my focus. For me, that was my focus. I would wake up every day like knowing that like I'm just gonna make time in my day to not miss meals and snacks. I had to learn how to get my body kind of regulated again, which was eating regularly. And so Mary says, that there's so much work to get freedom. Well, I want you to back up a second. I think it feels like work when you have a whole bunch of other stuff in your life going on as an adult, and we have this outer culture that isn't going to congratulate us. And I think sometimes we do have to where we want to go, really simplify, like put our blinders on. What am I doing today? And it's like, I'm getting my 3 meals and snacks in. And I'm going to do some life-affirming things, which is, talk to a friend. Only share this journey with people that are really going to like listen and not judge it, and not expect people who don't get it to come along for the ride yet. I had to really compartmentalize my life. Like, what's important? Well, recovery, eating regular meals, bringing in people that can support me and be part of the Circle the Wagons team here, and really just recognize it. I don't think the world's going to get it, and even congratulate this journey. You're right, Mary, and I know that you meant that too. I just want to make sure that like it's worth the time, and you're worth the time, and everybody here is worth the time to focus on that. Because I know when I was in diet culture, I put a lot of time into counting and measuring and over-exercising. I put a lot of time and work into that too. So I kind of had to reframe. Let's just shift the focus, and that was really important. Well, Mary, Sherry, I know you're saying there's tired of the battle, so you're always welcome to, like, you know what, taking a break from doing things today, and that's totally fine, because sometimes we need to do that. Now, when I say take a break, it doesn't mean not eat, or it means not care. It just means, thinking about it, and we probably just need more time, more grounding, probably some more hugs and self-care and things like that. So, that's amazing. So, Mary, if you had to think about, you said that what helped you was eating regularly and desirable food and snacks at the beginning. Yep, that was it. I went on a 9-month period of like, that was just my goal, of like eating regularly, because I just needed to do the opposite of what I was doing, which is like pushing off meals and not eating what I wanted and all those kind of things. So, but I'm so glad because of that focus, Mary. I mean, that was a focus. You had a focus. And so I'd love to hear from you all, what is your focus? And I think that's going to help right now when we have a focus in these uncertain times as well. Is like, what's my focus? And it may be that I get enough sleep. That's actually my focus. It may be I only come on social media to listen to, again, enriching or nourishing things, and that's it. I stop the scroll. I have my people that I know that like I feel safe around listening or watching or reading, basically. And Mary, the result is that food doesn't torment you, and you don't feel like it has the power over you, and so you overcome that part. And also, that sometimes when we fall off those habits, like me too, there are times where it's like, oh, I didn't get enough desirable food in the house. Oh, I rushed this. I immediately recognize I don't feel good, and I don't want to do that again. So it reignites that, like, oh yeah, that's right. That's how important that was. So. I'm not sure if this is Jenny or Jean. I'm sorry, it's Jenne. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I'm so sorry. But you said, I haven't been food shopping since it started until last weekend. He was doing all the shopping. I went to Trader Joe's last weekend and picked up things I like to cook. So much more free. Wonderful. Congratulations. I'm so glad that you were able to get out finally and get the things you needed that were the most nourishing for you. And I know that's probably been on your mind for a long time. I'm so glad you got it, and I hope you can continue to do that. That is amazing. Cool. Does anybody else want to share a focus? And as you're thinking about it and doing that, oh, Jen, okay, great, thank you. I'm so sorry I mispronounced it. Perfect, thank you. I'll share one more thing about movement. So I was pretty exercise addicted for a long time, probably a good 7 years, and I decided, I finally had to like, okay, you know, I'm spending time here that I don't want to be spending. I don't really want to be doing this walk or this lift or this whatever I was doing. I am missing time with my family. Like, I literally had a point where I was only taking like Thanksgiving, Christmas off. It was bad, really bad. And I missed weddings, funerals, all kinds of events. And so when the movement piece, the focus was, okay, I am really sincerely at any moment, if I don't want to be here, I'm going to stop. Because I couldn't go cold turkey. That's my recommendation for a lot of people, is to not go if you can just stop the movement for a while and work through the feelings. I didn't have a lot of tools at that point to learn how to do that, so I started to like, my focus would be radically honest with myself. And like, I don't want to do this. This feels totally driven by maybe if I do this thing, then I'll be more muscular or leaner or whatever. Or I have to do this to burn the calories. If any of those thoughts were in my head, I would stop. And so that meant that sometimes I would even drive to a gym, and I would get there, and the whole time I'm like revved up about any of these kind of thoughts. I would sit in the car. I'm like, we're not going in till we can be at a place where it is just more regulated. We're not doing it. And sometimes I wouldn't go in, and I would just drive and go do something else, and go to a park and sit, go run some errands. That's it. Sometimes I'd go somewhere and do something, and it'd be like, well, I don't really want to do this anymore. And so basically it's like, if I'm not doing this to burn calories and I'm not really getting a lot of from this joy, then what's the point? So I would stop. It doesn't matter if it was 7 minutes or 11 and a half or whatever. And if there were times I was like, yeah, I could, this is wonderful, I'm enjoying it, then I would do it. And so there were many times of doing like one set of something in my garage or in the gym, and then recognize like, I don't want to do this, and I would only continue to be doing this because I think it would make my biceps awesomer or something, whatever, and I would stop. Now, you know, it's one of those things that sometimes the movement that would help us with our body aches and pains aren't the same things that we do to change our bodies. Because honestly, simply standing up and swaying and stretching and all those kind of things are enough to keep ourselves from feeling as creaky and kind of back achy or whatever, and to start to feel better. So Mary's saying again, I realize my body hurts when I lay around on my phone. Yeah, so light dance classes, 30 minutes lifting here or there, but I need to watch the body image thoughts. Yeah, it's really important. I think that's the next step for a lot of people, is like, okay, I put some limits on it so I can monitor like what's happening, like what my focus is, but you still want to like reframe, am I doing this because I'm hoping my body changes, or I just want to feel better? If you can get around to like making some peace with that, then you're on the right track. Yeah. So those are possible focuses for people, is to like pick a thing that like, you know, is taking time and space from what you know is important in your life. Because the size of the leanness of your abs or the size of your behind is not why you're here. And not why we're here to do anything important, that's for sure. All right, so I hope this video was helpful. I would love to hear from y'all. Please tag me as you think about either what was my focus this week that really helped sustain me to stay stable, or maybe for something to shift, or maybe for next week. Like maybe we all commit here to a focus. I've been noticing, yeah. That's right, Mary. It's time for it. I agree with you. You're ready. It's time. A really good book for more help, obviously, with body image is When Women Stop Hating Their Bodies. It's one of my favorites. You know, there's lots of other good body image books. The Body's Not an Apology. There's so many good books that are really helpful, just recognizing, one, your body's not a problem. Two, yes, it deserves care and respect, but not the kind of care that we're used to doing, which is changing it. So if it changes in the midst of you being caring, so be it, but that's not the point. And if you get hooked on that point, it'll take you right back down the tubes of diet culture. So that's important to remember too. All right, I would love to hear about everybody's focus here. If you want to put it down below in the comments and tag me, I will be happy to come revisit it later this afternoon and just share any encouragement that I can offer. So thank you all so much for watching. Please share this coffee chat with anybody you felt like you need to take some time with some food or something to drink and listen and take some notes and whatever feels nourishing for them to be doing as they watch this. You're welcome. And thank you all so much for being here live, and in the replay, you can put replay and what your focus is as well. So thank you so much. Bye for now.